Hello everyone, my name is Janet. I am a homeschooling mom of two boys, and we're starting to prepare for our third year homeschooling. So today I'm going to share with you my new planner for the upcoming school year. Spring is here and you can smell the flowers. The weather's getting nice and warm. You hear the birdies chirping, and you know what that means. New school year is right around the corner. It's time to gather up all those books and curriculum and planners. I've shared with you my personal planners for the last few years, and for the last couple of years, I've also shared my homeschool planner. Last year, I finally made it available for purchase over on my Teachers Pay Teachers, and this year it will also be available on Etsy. So this is my planner. Last year I used binding discs to hold it together. This year I used my binding machine, but a 3-ring binder is perfect to make your own planner, to customize it and put it in the order that you prefer. I love that I can print it all out and organize it in whatever order that best fits our school year and that makes sense for my brain. This is an undated planner, but in these clips, because this is like my own copy, you will see the year like printed on it. This is an undated planner, so you can go ahead and print it out and organize it in whatever order you prefer. So whatever your start date is, whether you start in August or later in October, or if you do school year round. Also, because it is undated, you can continue using this planner for years to come if you like it. So with that being said, let's check out how I've set it all up. For the cover page, you get 2 pages, one with the 2022-2023 on it, and the other one is undated. The next page is course of study to keep track of the goals for each subject. And you can print one out for each grade if you have students in different grades. Now, I know a lot of homeschool families find it difficult to kind of label a child with okay, he's in 2nd grade or he's in 3rd grade, when so many of our children are ahead in some things and behind in other things, and like they're just not at what traditional school would say they are. So I understand that. So for mine, I actually, where it says grade, I put 1 through 5 because those are just the elementary school years. So it's like, that's what we're doing here. The next page is just to keep track of all the curriculum that we will be using throughout the year, all the workbooks and textbooks. Now, I know that this might seem like a lot to some of you, but with more families opting out to homeschool for whatever reason, it's hard to believe that the states are not going to do anything about it and won't want to monitor it closer in the near future. Here in California, it's pretty easy. Make sure you check your state's requirements, stay up to date in regards to like forms and files that you have to keep on hand. So stay up to date, be prepared. The next 2 pages are new to my planner. These were not included in last year's file if you purchased last year's. These are not included in that one, but I thought it would be nice to have this to kind of gauge my child's progress like at a glance, and then also use it as something I can refer to when I just kind of need to reel it back in and focus on our why we are doing this in the first place. It's so easy to just fall and be trapped in the curriculum and the scheduling, the checklists. I love a good checklist. And easily forget the freedom that us as homeschoolers actually have to go at a different pace, to just do it differently. So yeah, that's why I added these pages. Then I have a page specifically for all those usernames and passwords that we use for the different online resources we have. And if any of those are memberships, I also like to keep track of that, like how much it costs, when the payment is due, and if we like it or not, like is it worth it? I can kind of see exactly like what are we doing. The year at a glance pages, I wasn't a fan of for a while, but now I actually use it. I use a color code to keep track of birthdays, holidays, breaks, sports, appointments, etc. I love that I can just see it all at a glance, just like all in one page. And it just makes me feel a little more at peace, and I'm not like walking around with this constant, never-ending list of dates. So I've added the 2022 and 2023 at a glance, but when you purchase it on Etsy, you also have a blank page in there so you can fill it in a different order if you prefer. Like if you want to start it the the month that your school year starts, you want to start it there, your year at a glance, then you can do that. And then this year at a glance is a little different. It's more of a brain dump of all the activities I would like to do with the kids during each month. Field trips, unit studies, themed crafts. This helps me gather the supplies and kind of sort things out and figure it out and just be prepared. This brain dump page is also new to my planner this school year. Last year, I sort of just had a notes page where I was jotting ideas down that I was trying to fit into our schedule, thoughts I wanted to put a pin in, but it became just that, a list on a paper. I added this page in hopes of actually executing some of these ideas and some of these projects, and then keeping them in categories like this makes it easier for like my brain to sort out and prioritize some of these. Attendance sheet. Each child student gets their own. It's undated, so you can fill in starting on the month you start your school year. I like to block off the weekend dates of each month, and then also like if a month has only 30 days, then I also cross off 31. I also keep track of the extracurricular activities, sports, clubs, homeschool group activities, that sort of thing. It all goes on this page. And also a field trip log for each year. The next few pages are new to the file that you get when you purchase this. The last couple of years, I have used an Excel spreadsheet to map out our year. I fill it in with what we are going to be doing for each subject each week. And I had so many questions on it. I did go ahead and link down the video of where I first came across this idea. Because the idea of just being able to see it all in like a few pages, it just brings so much joy to my little planner heart. So this is what that is. There's a numbered one and a blank one. So the point of this is to be able to see your whole school year at a glance, sort of like a scope and sequence. I've numbered the weeks. Then I go through the scope and sequence for each subject. So many of the textbooks you already get, like whatever curriculum you purchase, already comes with a scope and sequence towards the front of the book. It just lists everything that's going to be covered. Now, we don't want to fall prisoners to this, so be careful. It's just like a guide. It's not like anything like permanent. I also like to fill in an intended routine for the week. This year, we've been following more of a block schedule, and it's been working great for us. So we are going to stick to that again this following year if everything goes as planned. So I'll go ahead and fill in what subjects I want us to do each day. Again, don't hold on to this too tightly. You have to give yourself some wiggle room, and don't use this as something to later feel guilty for not following. For a few months this school year, we've already had to flip our whole schedule around because of my husband's work schedule. But because we are homeschoolers, we were able to do that. And my kids were able to see their dad. His work schedule allowed for a short window of family time. So we worked around that because that was important for us to be able to spend time with my husband, for the kids to see dad. Our schedule was on its head for a little while, and that's why I was gone for so long. Don't hold on to these plans so tightly. The lesson tracker is one of my favorite spreads. For each subject, I fill in the subject, and then I fill out these boxes with the number of lessons. Throughout the year, I cross off lessons as they are completed. It's easy to see at a glance if there's a workbook that has been neglected, and I make sure to add it back in the loop for the following week or so. The next couple of pages are all about books. Books to read, to list all the books I want to use for read aloud, unit studies, activities, and there's also a little note section there so I can fill in if it's an audiobook, if I need to borrow it from the library, or if we already own it. And a reading log to log my child's reading each month. Also tracking each month is physical activity. That's my child's PE class. For each month, there is a month at a glance. So you can jot down everything that you're going to be needing, what you're going to be doing, crafts, places to go. And I honestly ended up taking this out of my planner because it started to feel like too much. Like I was already writing it in a month at a glance, and then I was writing it again in my weekly layouts. And I also have a unit planner that already tracks that stuff. So I didn't need this stuff listed in 5 different places. Then there are the 12 months. The months are labeled, but the days are not dated. So you can go ahead and start your planner on whatever month that you start your school, and then you can fill in the days, the weekly spreads. I'm switching up the layout a little bit. I have a slot for each day of the week, Monday through Friday, but instead of breaking it up by subject, I'll be breaking it up by child. Since my little one will have more of a planned year, I am also going to be including his stuff on my planner now. I have the layout from last year included in the file when you purchase it on Etsy, and I know some people like it on the right instead of their left, so I arranged the template so you can put it in on either side. And then for each week, I have this page, which I like to use up here on the top. I like to use for anything that's gonna be going on that day, like if it's soccer, if we're gonna visit somebody, if we have an appointment, something that kind of sticks out for that day that I'm gonna have to kind of work around. Now, if you're not a morning basket family, that's fine. Or if you don't want to use these boxes for what they are labeled, there is also a blank one that has these boxes unlabeled, so you can go ahead and label it with whatever you want. That's also an option. And then there's also this little dotted section at the bottom where you can just use for notes. I've mentioned that for social studies, geography, science, we work out of unit studies that I put together using a load of resources. So I keep track of all of that with this template here. Everything I'm going to need for the unit, crafts, books, videos, goals, it's all listed here. And I also track when each lesson will be taught. For example, for our unit on space, it was broken into a week of planets, a week of all about the sun, all about the moon. So I track it all here. And to wrap it all up, at the end of my planner, I have a couple pages to keep notes of curriculum I come across and I want to do a little more research on, and I just start to compare it to what we're using now if it's not working. And then when it's time to purchase new curriculum, I have these notes to refer to. So this is my planner. Again, it is available for purchase over on Etsy. It's actually on sale for the next 2 weeks. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to check out my planner over on Etsy. It's all truly appreciated. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one.